been another great week of sales. I found some amazing items. I had some really good sales, and I even found an item that I'm going to make a profit on without even having to sell it. My name's Andy, and I resell items on eBay to help supplement my income, and I'm going to explain all of that as I go through my top 10 sales of the week. Number 10 were these MPOW headphones. These were brand new. I bought these at a yard sale for $5, and they sold within a day for $59.95 for a profit of $28.04. This item was shipped to the U.S. Virgin Islands, so it was a little expensive to ship, but I still did pretty well on this. Number 9 was this Patagonia fleece. This is kind of an uncommon one. This sold for... Number 9 was this Patagonia fleece. I sell Patagonia quite a bit, and this is kind of an uncommon one. It sold for $56.95 for a profit of $30.60. I've been changing my listing strategies around a little bit, and my sales are up. My ad sales are down though, so I'm wondering if I'm missing out on some sales because I used to put my ad rate more around 6, 7, 8%, but now I'm just doing the minimum of 2%. But since my sales are up, I'm all good with that. But I switched most of my items to free shipping as well, and there's some positives and negatives to that, but overall my sales are up, so I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Number 8 were these Hoka shoes. This is a brand that pretty much every reseller knows about. I don't really buy shoes very often, but these ones were at a yard sale for $20, and I sold them for $74.95 for a profit of $35.64. My number 7 sale for the week was this lot of Disney Blu-rays. These were free. I got them from a friend, and I sold this lot for $58.47 for a profit of $40.30. It's been a while since I've gotten negative feedback, but I also get neutral feedback on occasion. And one I got recently was just kind of annoying. You know, it's not a big deal when it's neutral feedback because it doesn't like give you a worse percentage on, you know, your overall rating. But I realized that I shipped the wrong item to a customer, and I realized before they received it, so I sent them a message to let them know what happened. I offered a discount if they want to return that one, and I'll, you know, send them the right item, or if they just want to return it, that's fine. So they opted to take my partial refund along with returning the item. So they weren't really reading my messages. Even that first one, they didn't read until after they received the item, which is fine. But I kind of explained how the process would go. I would buy a label, I would send it to them. They can use that label then to ship me that item back. And when I bought the label, it was like $6.50. And I sent it to them. And then the next day I get a message from them, and it said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were sending a label," even though I had explained that. So they bought their own label, which ended up costing $12. So what ended up happening was I ended up giving them a refund on the label they bought, and on top of that, the refund that, you know, I offered them in the first place. So really, it was kind of a wash for me on that item. But they gave me a neutral feedback and claimed that my communication was bad, which was kind of annoying because they were the one not reading my messages, which cost me money, but I still gave them, you know, the money that they had spent back plus some extra. But it is what it is. I don't know, just some of those little things, you kind of got to let it go, but it also isn't really like very fun to get feedback like that when you did the right thing. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. I'd be real interested in knowing. Anyways, my number 6 sale of the week was this pair of Adventure Tech Gore-Tex pants. These were brand new. I bought them at a yard sale for $20, and they sold for $79.95 for a profit of $42.14. Right into my number 5 sale for the week was this pair of North Face Carabiner mugs. These sold for $59.95, and since I only paid $1 a piece for them, my profit was $43.37. And this was an example of an item that was at a sale that ultimately had a lot of junky items. but the lady had told me that these 2 mugs had come from, a prize that she had won somehow at work. She didn't have any use for them. She didn't know that there was value to them. She was selling them for $1 a piece. So I'm glad I looked at this yard sale, because from the road, it didn't look very good. But I pretty much always look, no matter what it looks like at first glance, because you can find good items like this, even when the rest of the items, aren't very good. Number 4 was this Hugo Boss polo shirt. And Hugo Boss is one of those brands that's pretty good to look for at my local Goodwill, because they don't really charge up for this. This was a $7.50 shirt, and it was brand new with the tags. It sold for $74.95 for a profit of $47.77. I usually like to throw in a brand BOLO on my videos. So one brand I wanted to talk about that I've been finding more recently is Department 56 Christmas Village items. These sell pretty much all year round, not just around Christmas time. They'll sell in the middle of the summer. They're very popular. People really like their Christmas Village stuff. And there's other brands that do pretty well too, but I try to really look for Department 56. At yard sales or even at Goodwill, sometimes you can find big groups of these items. And if you can find that, you can make a lot of profit. So I found a whole group of Department 56 Christmas Village items at a sale recently, and I think I'm going to make about $300 to $400 on those, and I only paid $50. The big thing is it's worth opening them and checking to make sure all the pieces are there and make sure they're not broken. Certain ones are more fragile than others. You can still sell them if they're missing pieces or broken, but I tend to not sell stuff like that. You can still make some money, but it's just a little harder, and people don't always look at the photos or read the description. So I look for nice ones. So just something to look out for, Department 56 Christmas Village items. My number 3 sale of the week was actually on Facebook Marketplace. This was an Ibanez guitar that I bought at a yard sale for $40, and it sold on Marketplace for $120 for a profit of $80. I also picked up another item recently that I've listed on Marketplace. It was this Cuisinart 2-in-1 electric grill. It was brand new at a sale for $40, and I have it listed on Marketplace for $150 because these sell for over $200 retail. So we'll see what happens with that one. My number 2 sale of the week was this Metallica pinball poster. I bought a few of these at a yard sale a few weeks ago for $25 each, and this one sold for $139.95 for a profit of $93.34. So really good on that one. All right, so the item that I'm going to make money on without having to sell it is this hard drive. I buy these quite a bit, this exact one, and I used to buy these for about $165, but because of AI data centers now, these sell for more in the range of like $360, which is kind of disheartening because this is an item that creatives need to buy a lot, is extra hard drive space, unless they're doing, online storage. But I like to have a physical copy as well. So I was really lucky to find this. It was brand new for $80 at a sale. Super happy to find this because I actually needed this for a project this week. I'm doing a big video project in Ohio for a client, and I had already charged them full price for the hard drive, which would have been around $360 plus tax. But since I was able to buy this for $80, that's instant profit for me, and really happy to find that. And actually at that sale, they also had this monitor calibrator too. I have not listed this yet, but this is a $70 item all day long, and they had it at their sale for $10. So maybe something to look for, items like that. If it was a used external hard drive, I might be a little hesitant to kind of deal in something like that, but something brand new, buy it for $80. You can probably sell it on eBay for $350, make some good money there. And then that brings us to the number 1 sale of the week, which was another Metallica pinball poster to the same buyer. This was actually an overseas buyer, which is great because if there's ever any issues and there's a return or anything, eBay handles that. Also, their distribution center for international shipping is very close to my house, so the shipping's always very cheap. So this actually sold for the same price of $139.95 for a profit of $93.75. And I'd say that that was a heck of a flip.